we are going to be talking about this specific type of bar graph. What makes different a histogram from any other bar graph is that in the histogram, the bars are right next to each other. There is no separation between them. And also that we are going to be using intervals for the data. Okay? So it is basically a bar graph with these specific characteristics. And it works for when you have too much data to make a normal bar graph. Okay? And first we are going to interpret data that we see in a histogram. And for that we have our presentation. In skill check 1 there is a graph and it's asking us some questions about it. Question number 1 is asking what is the model interval. The model interval is the interval that repeats the most. Just like the mode, when we have a set of data, we can get the model interval. What is the amount of hours that is the most repeated or the most frequent in our graph? It is from 8 to 9 hours. This is our model interval, the one that is the most frequent. Okay? And we can easily identify it by the highest bar. Number 2, what is the median interval? The median interval is the one that is in the middle, which would also be from 8 to 9 hours. Question number 3 is asking us what is the range. For the range, we are going to take the lowest value of the lowest interval and the highest value on the highest interval, and we are going to subtract them. Our highest value is 11 hours. And our lowest value is 4 hours, which would give us a range of 7. 7 hours is our range. Number 4 is asking if Jane slept 7.9 hours last night, in which interval would she be in? Okay? Would she be in the interval of 6 to 7 or on the interval from 8 to 9? She would be in the 6 to 7 interval. Number 5, how many people slept less than 8 hours? Okay, the people that slept less than 8 hours is the ones who slept 4 to 5 and the ones who slept 6 to 7. So we are going to add the frequency of both. We have 2 people on 4 to 5 and 9 people on 6 to 7. That means that we have a total of 11 people. Number 6, how many people were questioned? Okay, for this we have to add each of the bars together. 4 to 5 is 2, 6 to 7 has a frequency of 9, 8 to 9 has a frequency of 21, and 10 to 11 has a frequency of 3. we add them all together, we have a total of 35. And last, question number 7. What percent of people slept at least 8 hours? At least means 8 hours or more. Okay, for that, first we have to add the people who slept 8 hours or 9 and the people who slept 10 to 11 hours, which would be 21 plus 3, 24. And to get a percentage, we have to divide it by the total, which we said is 35. Okay, remember the percentage formula? It's part over whole equals 100, equals the percentage over 100. Okay. We cross multiply 24 times 100 divided by 35 is 68%. And that is all the information we can get just by looking at a histogram. Now, if we have data and we need to make a histogram, we have the following steps. First, we need to choose the size of the intervals. We have in skill check number 2, we have an example and they are already giving us the interval size. They are asking us to make intervals of 2. Number 2, determine the intervals. Since our data starts in 0, our intervals are going to be 0 and 1, 2 to 3, 4 to 5, and we are going to be up until 7, 6 to 7. Those would be our intervals. Then we have to make a frequency table. 0 to 1, 2 to 3, 4 to 5, and 6 to 7. And we are going to see how many times each value is on the data. This is our interval. This is our tally. And this is our frequency. This is how our frequency table would be. We have the data, we have the tally, which is the counting we do, and we have the frequency. Now we are going to graph the frequency into our histogram. We are going to place numbers from 1 to 19 because we need 19 for the first interval. And our first bar is going to go all the way to 19. The second bar, it's going to go up until 8. Remember that the bars need to be right next to each other. There has to be no space between them. Our next interval has a frequency of 2. And the interval from 6 to 7 has a frequency of 1. And that's it for today. I hope this was clear enough. It's a very simple topic. So if you have any questions, don't forget to come to the Facebook Live Q&A. Have a nice day. Bye bye.